Hi guys, how y'all doing? This is D Durrell with D Durrell Life Solutions. So this particular topic is basically backed by popular demand. I have received a ton of responses and interest in me continuing to do financial topics, particularly as it pertains to PPP loans. Now, this particular video is not going to be a really long video, but it's going to be a video to kind of talk about what I have been hearing, particularly in the social aggregate in my community. I'm going to talk about talks that I have undergone with people, particularly my family in Louisiana, and also people that I've known that have received the PPP loans. Those have been successful, and those that have been unsuccessful, and also people who also have committed fraud and are now going to have to seek legal counsel. I would like to say about 2 weeks ago, it was made known to me that several people from the town that I'm from, I'm going to say people that I know and some that I don't know, were basically identified by the federal government as potentially committing PPP fraud. The average person that received a loan, or the PPP loan per se, they received a PPP loan anywhere between $20,000 to $30,000. Many of these people were unemployed. Many of these people never owned a business in their life. Many of these people have never consistently held a job because the area where they come from lacks jobs, lacks opportunities. As a result of this, they were implicated in the parish newspaper. And I actually was able to identify at least half of the people that were listed were people that I've known, and some were people that I'm related to, in which they will have to seek counsel and representation for the fact that they committed a federal crime. And I know that there are so many people that came down on me real hard about saying, well, they're looking at the people who got the big loans, but they're going to get at everybody, no matter what the size. And I still say they are focusing, they want to catch those people with the bigger loans, but they're coming after everybody, period. And I'm not going to change that. But what I'm going to say is that if they find out that you committed fraud, you can't account for things through your bank statements and also your personal taxes, you are going to be identified. You're going to be investigated. You're going to go to court and you're going to be convicted. And there are people getting 20, 30 years. Now, I don't know, because I'm not a legal person as far as per se. But what I do know is that this is serious. Now, there are people, unfortunately, in other sectors that think that I committed fraud. And I find it funny. And the thing about it, what they don't understand is that I've been in business for well over 13 years. I have every tax return that I need, and I have the financial documentation to back it up. And I feel that for those, even on this channel, feel like I may have committed fraud, I'm going to say you gladly mistaken. I don't need to commit fraud. Matter of fact, how can I commit fraud for a business that I legitimately own? And the fact that I was severely affected by COVID, particularly at my Dallas office. Not as much at my Houston office and my office in the greater Houston area. But the overall revenue was greatly affected. Also in that, I qualified for other forms of government assistance. I talked about the EIDL loan. There's another related tax related revenue that I'm going to be able to be refunded. I'm not going to talk about that until I am totally approved for it. And once that goes through and has been approved, then I'm going to actually make you all aware of how you can also do the same. I'm not going to talk about something that I'm not successful at getting and then try to teach you to apply for something I couldn't get myself. I also want to make you aware that as we speak right now, the deadline for the CARES Act is the 26th of October. And I want to encourage those who have not applied to definitely apply for that, for those types of funds if you are qualified and need those funds for your business. Also, I want to state the fact that the EIDL loan maxes out at $500,000. I received a great deal of money the first time in December, and I'm able to maximize that out, and that also is pending. And as we speak, and as I've looked at other sectors, financial sectors that focus on this, they are actually processing those loans. As far as an increase, they're processing those loans very quickly. And I want to encourage each and every one of you, don't feel shame that you are taking advantage of money that the government is allowing you to take advantage of to support your business. We are living in a time in which there's a great deal of economic uncertainty, and the economy and the way things are socially operating are not the way they were pre-COVID. It's slowly progressing to that point, but there may be several years till we get back to the normalcy that we were privileged to have prior to COVID-19. And I, as a business owner who has greatly been affected, just because you get a PPP loan doesn't mean that your business is doing bad. What it means is that your business is not making the profit that you once made prior to COVID. And this is what people who are uneducated with business and finance don't understand. And therefore they create videos, per se, speaking of people in an ill light without no basis and no proof. And it's actually slander. It's actually slanderous. But I'm not going to go too much into that. But I just want people to understand, if you made $1 million a year in revenue, but when COVID came, that $1 million turned to $700,000 instead of $1 million. You're still making profit, but you're not making the profit that you once made prior. And that's the difference. And when they see records of that, they are going to give you a loan based on your decline in revenue. That's what it's about. It's not about losing money. It's about the decline in revenue that was based on what was going on prior to COVID-19. That's facts. I love speaking about the business stuff, and I'm going to do more topics on that, particularly in managing a healthcare facility, managing a private practice of any sort. But I just wanted to discuss that because there are so many people that are confused and they're speaking on things without never owning a business in their lives. But because they know of someone that went to jail or been charged for fraud, because they know that something bad happened to people who got these types of loans or these types of government funding, they assume anybody that's talking in a certain way is committing the same. And that's just not the truth. So again, guys, I appreciate you for coming in. This is D. Durrell with D. Durrell Life Solutions. Have a great day.